Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers coming to you from the state capitol in downtown Lansing. You wouldn't believe the steps some criminals will go through to get their hands on the ingredients to make methamphetamine. Our topic today is making it more difficult to purchase ephedrine and pseudoephedrine. Joining us now to talk about it is Senator Mike Nofs, a Republican from the 19th District, which represents both Calhoun and Jackson counties. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on the program today. Appreciate it.
Before we talk about this Senate Bill 350, which you have recently introduced to try to make it more difficult to purchase the illegal substances that go into making meth. They're not illegal until they get turned into meth. But
right.
How big of an issue is the we heard a lot about the methamphetamine labs and the dangers of them, certainly a couple of years ago, but they haven't been making the news as often lately.
Well, what the problem is that, as you have it repeated over and over and over again, it isn't new news, but it still is occurring out there, and it's still at the frequency it is, and it still is a major problem in what it does when people use the illegal drug and how it wrecks families and communities and actually is a safety risk even in the production of it. And people have been hurt and killed even from those illegal labs that they set up to make the illegal drug methamphetamine.
And we saw not too long ago a bill passed, a law that said you were not allowed to purchase ephedrine or pseudoephedrine in any types of large quantities. You had to show an ID and purchase a small amount. I don't know the details, log in and out, to try to crack down on folks, going in and grabbing a whole case of the stuff and turning it into meth. Has that been successful? Has it cut down at all on the use?
It really has. It has been successful, and now, as criminals typically do, is once it is beneficial and it has made it harder for them to be able to get the ingredients, which is ephedrine, pseudoephedrine, which is in our common cold medications and our allergy medications. So we put it behind the counter a couple of years ago, as you said, and so you have to now show ID, and you can only purchase a certain amount of quantity of it and so much per day, et cetera, to stop them from making and getting the core ingredients of methamphetamines from those over-the-counter drugs and making the production of meth. And the hard part is that they're very smart. Criminals are very smart, and so when you have to show an ID, they'll show a certain ID and to get a couple of the boxes of it, and then turn around, go across the street and go to another drugstore and show a fake ID, same person, and go ahead and purchase more products because they need the quantity in order to make the illegal drug, and they'll do anything they have to be able to try to get their hands on that key ingredient. And
the police have been able to sort of track that a lot of fake IDs now are being used, and so you've introduced a bill to try to stop that.
Yeah, it's another reaction as they try to do something. We're trying to counter that and trying to obviously keep the production of meth out of Michigan. And so when you use a fake ID presently today, it's not against the law when you're showing it to buy the ephedrine or pseudoephedrine drugs or over-the-counter medication. And so police officers in my district came to me and said, Mike, we need to do something about this because we are using the logs, we're going back doing our work, it's a lot of work. We're finding it's the same person just using fake IDs, going to different stores and buying the ingredients, and therefore they can still make the production of methamphetamines and sell the illegal drug. And so we came up with this law that would make it a misdemeanor, 93 days or $100 fine, if you use fake ID when you're signing in and logging in and purchasing the over-the-counter cold and allergy medications which contain the ephedrine, pseudoephedrine ingredient, which is the ingredient they need for methamphetamine production.
That's surprising to me. I would have thought if you're using a fake ID and lying about your identity for whatever reason, that should somehow be illegal already.
It's not. We do have it for people, young kids that want to buy alcohol or booze, or you purchase a firearm in Michigan, you got to show a valid ID, and it's against the law to do that, but it's only in specific areas where we've actually made that a crime in Michigan. In general, when we require it, but we don't have the effect of a statute making it a specific crime, it isn't against the law.
All right, well, maybe someday soon it will be. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Senator Mike Nofs, a Republican from the 19th District.